Hello, Shades Crest. I know that all of you are looking forward to the days when the coronavirus episode is over. I join you in that hope. Likewise, I know many of you are anticipating the return to on-site worship on June 21st. In order to help you better understand what it is that we are going to be experiencing and how to prepare for that, I want to give you a little bit of an orientation. First of all, just to remind you again of the options that we have. On the 21st, there are going to be two worship services. The first at 9 o'clock, the rising service, will be in the fellowship hall. The second service, the majestic service, will be held at 11 o'clock. The third option is on Wednesday. And on the Wednesday, the 24th of June, and the Wednesdays to follow, we'll be having a worship service in the fellowship hall that will also be a Bible study. This particular service is designed specifically for persons who are 65 and older, as well as those who, because of their health situation, would find themselves in the vulnerable population. The fourth option is the online option. And let me say about that it is our hope that on the 21st, we will be able to provide a live stream of the service. However, we have had some equipment delays, and we have some software learning to do, so it's possible that we may not quite be ready that soon. If that is the case, then we will have an audio recording that will be made of the rising service that morning and will be put on our website by 11 o'clock. It is our hope that at the longest, we will only have to do that a couple of weeks before we can go live. You will receive, if you have not already, an email that will give you an opportunity to register for one of the on-site services on Sunday. If it is your intention to come on Sunday, then what we need for you to do is to complete that registration. The purpose of that is to let us know how many people are anticipating coming so that we can make better plans for you. Now, with that reminder of the options, I want to share with you a little bit about what you will expect to experience when you come. When you first arrive, we're going to be asking people to begin lining up outside, maintaining the 6-foot social distancing. We will have some of our church leaders in the parking lot to assist you in that. And then 15 minutes before the service begins, we will be letting people come into the room where the service is being held so that you can find your seat. A little bit later in this video, I will show you something of what to expect in terms of seating in both the fellowship hall and in the sanctuary. Now, once you come into the service, we're going to ask you to find your seat. There will not be any coffee in the rising service. There will not be worship guides distributed. There will not be any books that you will find in the pew racks. All of these things are designed to enhance the safety of the environment. We'll be conducting the service. Right now, we are anticipating limited singing, perhaps at the end of the service only, again because of information that we have been gaining from a variety of sources that indicate that the virus can very easily spread when we're singing, even more than we were speaking to one another. Following the service, we will be dismissing in sections. This helps us to not have a bunch of people crowding at the exit, being too close to one another. There will be offering boxes on your way out should you wish to make a contribution. There will also be no ETC or children's church, at least at this point. Trying to staff that would be a challenge to say the least. And trying to maintain a safe environment, we think at this point is simply beyond what we are capable of doing. Now, that's what you will generally expect to experience when you come. I want to talk to you now a few moments about what we are hoping we can commit to do together to make this experience as safe and as meaningful as possible. For one thing, we are asking everyone to maintain a 6-foot social distancing from people who are outside of your family. I know that's going to be very hard to do, and when we first see each other, everything in us is going to want to shake their hands or hug them or somehow express the joy that we have over seeing them. But we have many members of our congregation who have expressed concern about their own health safety. And one of the ways that we can help them with that is by committing ourselves to maintaining that 6-foot social distancing. Likewise, we are asking everyone to wear a mask. If you happen to arrive on Sunday and you do not have a mask with you or left yours at home, we will have masks available for you. They'll be on the tables as you enter. If you do end up picking up one of those masks, you need to understand that that mask is now yours, and you need to take that home with you and plan to bring it with you in the next week. Each of the venues, both the fellowship hall and the sanctuary, have been set up to maintain a safe distance. What we'd like for you to do when you enter is to go find a seat in one of the designated spaces, which we will show you in a few minutes. In the fellowship hall, it will be very important that we not move chairs. We will be having chairs set up in groups of 4 and 3 and 2. With the hopes that that will be a sufficient breakdown and you'll need to find the one that best suits your own family unit. When it comes to restrooms, we know that there are going to be occasions when it will be necessary for someone to need a restroom. We hope that that will be on a limited basis only. But if you do happen to need to use the restroom, it is our hope, and what we are asking is that we use that one person at a time, and that you use proper sanitary efforts, good hygiene as you are leaving, in order to make the place as safe as possible for the next person who might need it. When you do exit the building, if you will make your way all the way to the parking lot, rather than gathering in the foyer or other common areas, this will keep the flow going for those who do need to get out, and will again help create a safer environment than if we begin to congregate in spaces. For your safety, each of the worship areas will be sanitized after each use. We're doing this because we want to do everything we know to do to create a very safe and welcoming environment. However, despite all of our efforts to maintain the 6-foot social distancing and asking people to wear masks, doing the sanitizing, etc., we simply cannot guarantee that no one is going to contract the virus while being with us. We hope not, and we're doing what we can to keep that from happening. But we do need to, for the sake of transparency, indicate that we cannot guarantee that. I want to now show you what to expect when you arrive in the fellowship hall, whether that be on Sunday morning or on Wednesday morning. As you can see, there are 4 chairs lined up here. This would be for, obviously, larger families. Behind me are 2 chairs. That would be for a couple or maybe a single. And then over here is an example of 3 chairs that we can use for another size family. And these will be spread throughout the fellowship hall. So when you come, you'll find the space that best fits your family makeup, and if you'll sit there, that will be great. If you happen to be a family that has maybe 5 people in your immediate family, then in that instance only, it would be acceptable to move a chair so that your family can be all together. But this is what to expect, and we will be monitoring the number of people who sign up for the service so that we can make sure that we can get as many as possible in the space as safely as we can. Here in the sanctuary, our setup obviously is very different, but still designed to maintain as much of a safe environment as possible. As you can see, we have painter's tape to mark off the pews that are not going to be used, and then you'll have an open section here for your family to be seated. And it is our hope that on one side of this pew would be one family, on the other side would be another family, as opposed to filling up the entirety of the row with people. We think that we will have plenty of room for everyone to find a space in one of the marked off pews for seating, so that you will be able to be a part of that experience without any hindrance. Well, now you have an idea about what to expect when you come to on-site worship on June 21st. We're looking forward to having you. And I know that some of the things that you have heard will be inconvenient. None of us wants to have to stay 6 feet apart from our fellow church members. None of us wants to have to wear a mask. It is an inconvenience. But for the sake of others, which is part of our church's mission, one of the things that we can do is to manage our inconvenience so that we can provide as safe of an environment as possible for all of our people when they come. Those of us on the pastoral staff are certainly going to want you to know that we will find great joy in seeing you when you are here on Sunday. But we will not be able to hug you or shake your hand or pat you on the back or any of the other normal expressions of our joy in seeing you. Instead, what I'm anticipating doing is that as I see you, I'm simply going to pat my heart as a way of communicating that I'm glad to see you. You are important to me, and that I care deeply for who you are as a person and your spiritual and physical well-being. And I hope that as you see that, you will know that that is true. So, Sunday the 21st of June is the big day. You'll be here. You'll have your mask on. You'll be helping practice the safety measures that we have had. And we anticipate a wonderful time together of meeting God here in the buildings at Shades Crest. And for those of you who are going to continue to worship with us online, we want you to know that you too are valued, and that we are so grateful that you will be joining us as collectively the people of Shades Crest Baptist Church continues in our worship of God.